This is the same salvage ship we saw them talking about back in the good old days of March, May, April. One of those months. What month was this?
It's a
March, yes. So this was the old concepts that we saw, if you guys remember, for the Salvation. We didn't know the name at the time, but we knew it was going to be some kind of an RSI salvaging starter ship. And it looks like they went kind of off of this basis. So let's see what they have to say about it.
Starter ships are important because they are the entryway into a career that you may not necessarily have thought you want to play. So having them be this low-cost entry point allows you to try more game loops and gameplay styles. Starter ships are also important to have a sense of progression through the ship lineup. You need that entry point and then progressions into more advanced and expansive ships throughout that universe. We're proud to introduce the entry-level salvage ship, the RSI Salvation.
I think this is the last one they need in their lineup too. If you go to their pledge store and you look at their starter ships, there's a reason that they brought this out. They brought the Golem out. They were definitely balancing out their whole selection. So if you go to the game packages and you look what they've got, now they've got the salvaging pack. They got the hauler pack. They got the seeker pack, general usage, mining. I think the Avenger one you could say is like a more advanced general usage. They now have kind of filled out all of the starter packs for their current professions. Next up is to get us some other professions. I do wonder though where the Aurora fits in here, because they do need to bring it back. Are they going to bring it back with the $45 like the Mustang? Or are they going to bring it back and put it up at like, I can't imagine them doing it at more than 50. The Aurora is not that much of a ship, especially when you put it next to something like a cutter, but I guess that's 60. I don't know. We'll see. But they've got the full lineup now of all their starter ships. Bounty Hunter pack is the Avenger, I believe.
The RSI Salvation is a new salvage starter from the manufacturer RSI. It's the first ship off the production line for that profession in the game.
The Salvation is for those players who want to get into the salvage career, or those who are sort of being curious about it but wanted an easy way into that loop. This allows you to access the new RMC and salvage changes very easily.
RSI Salvation is a beautiful compact solo ship.
Definitely a good way of getting your foot in the door if you want to do a bit of salvaging. But you don't want a big boy like the Reclaimer because it's way too big and you need lots of people. Or you want a bit more reliability than the Vulture because it's Drake. Drake's not reliable. I love Drake, but it's not.
It's a very small purpose-built ship. We wanted it to look strong, but quite stubby. It was a balance between making it feel industrial, feel functional, and strong. So when
Who would buy an Aurora nowadays?
The first thing you're going to notice is these structural elements that are like an external roll cage that wrap around either side of the ship, and they're kind of cocooning all the functional bits. On either side, we've got these fins that open up, so when you go into salvage mode, there's like somewhere for it to like release its energy, release its heat that it's not needing.
And you've got a big tank that processes all the material to then squish it into the crates.
It's a single-seater, you get in through the front of it, you deploy your salvage arms and they just pop out either side of you and you get great visibility.
Yeah, this is very much, it's very much looking like this one here. This looks a little more Aegis, not gonna lie. So they did a good job of shifting it back to RSI's design.
Both what you're trying to salvage, but also the mechanisms that are doing the salvaging for you.
Salvage generally starts with the scraping of the hull, and the Salvation comes with a pair of bespoke salvage scrapers.
And then there's little grills on those arms which do the fracturing, and inside of those arms you've got the bit that does the fracturing and the disintegrating.
Oh man, I really hope they change the fracturing when we get to Maelstrom into the game.
We wanted the player to know kind of what modes they're in. So when you're in scraping mode or fracturing mode, we've got these beams and glows down either side just to let you know what's going on. And then around the rear of the ship, it's all dedicated to the salvage space.
Once you've scraped the hull, you can then fracture the hull, and the salvage has a built-in auto loader which provides the crates of the goods and exports them onto the
That's what I'm talking about.
ship.
It's a 6 SCU grid at the rear, and that just holds your individual containers of salvage material.
It comes with two weapons to protect you in your missions. It also has a weapon rack and utility rack, so you will be ready for any threats in your job.
The paints are very pretty.
Dude, I miss these. I miss these missions, man. Not that they're not there anymore. I do think these derelicts are scattered throughout. I don't think they spawn missions right now, but even if they did, it was still missing variability. You know, you would really know every single time you went to one of these what you were going to get. If they could change the way that the NPCs might spawn or the loot might spawn, these could be so fun to do again. Because it's just nice to just go out to a planet or a moon, see the landscape, see what happened to the ship, kind of try and learn what happened and get some stuff while you're doing it.
Threats in your job.
No missions or NPCs in 4.3.
Paints are very pretty. RSI is a lot more refined in its style. It wants you to feel more luxurious with doing mundane, different tasks. So they took an industrial role and they went, hey, let's make it look cool.
It's very built for function.
You simply just get in it, go do the salvage mission. There's no onboard amenities like a bed. You do the salvage and then you come back. Very happy with how the salvation turned out. It's a lot of ship in a small package.
It treads that line between being, it feels strong, it feels tough, it's still quite cute. At least in my opinion, it's quite cute. I think it's like a nice little ship.
I really like this ship because I pay lots of time to create lots of detail on it. So yeah, I really like this ship. This is my best job. For now.
Hey man, good for you.
He just looks like a little disc that wants to hug you with his little arms.
I like it. It does remind me of that ship from Elite, not gonna lie. Which is funny because the Vulture is also a ship that reminds you from a ship from Elite, and they're both salvaging ship. I also think it's like, it's cute, it's kind of wholesome. I don't know, there's something about it, the way it's just like little tiny. And yeah, it's nice. I'm glad they made a salvage starting ship. I am really interested in seeing how they continue to diversify these professions now that we know that the salvage updates are kind of making it so that smaller ships will get importance because they are salvaging something different than the bigger ships. It's in the patch notes from 4.3.2 actually. We went over it a few weeks ago. You could probably find it on the Space Tomato 2 channel, but we won't go over a ton of it. It's just kind of talks about how there are different materials now. You've got powder, which is a high density, low yield. Scraps, which are medium density, medium yield, and chunks, which are low density, high yield, and these all are salvaged by different size ships. So they already talked about the Reclaimer and the Vulture here, and we all could kind of see that there was something else that needed to fit in underneath the Vulture, and obviously the Misk Fortune. So it makes sense now that we're getting the Salvation, and I'm interested in seeing how they can further build out the range of salvage ships. This is why we haven't seen a lot of industrial ships. People are like, why is it always combat? Why is it always racing? That's the gameplay they had. They had diversity in it. They had motivation to do it because of Squadron. And, well, they were pretty good at doing it at this point. But now that we see salvage starting to get some more diversity, mining, it sounds like maybe is going to get some more diversity as crafting comes in. And with these Nix updates they're talking about, we're going to start seeing more industrial ships, more general focus ships. I think a lot of people are going to start feeling better about the direction of the game after 4.4. It looks like we might be getting back to features too, so good times ahead, potentially. Either way, there's your salvation.